men's singles. It's something that Elise Mertens mentioned against the Canadians. She'll have a little more freedom, but let's welcome the players.
Please welcome, representing Czechia, Barbora Krejcikova. And please welcome, representing Belgium, Elise Mertens.
She's looked in fine fettle this season, coming in her opening couple of matches and also doubling up as well for the mixed alongside Christopher Heyman, partner and coach and team captain. He's wearing an awful lot of hats this week, but he seems to have created a very good team atmosphere. Whether there's something that he's done specifically, it is his first time sort of leading a team like this, or it's just all come together because so many of the Belgians have all trained as at the same sort of Flemish federation growing up. I don't know if we get a chance to chat to him. I'd love to know what he's doing behind the scenes, because there seems to be a fantastic, it's not a word I use very often, vibe.
Nice. I like your Gen Z vocabulary, Sam.
I'm getting there. I'm a long way off, but I'm getting there.
But I agree. I actually saw them a few times walking out of the hotel, Team Belgium, all together, not a single member missing, off to have dinners together. Everything they were doing seemed to be very tightly knit and together, which is so important to build that team atmosphere, that elusive team atmosphere that just sometimes exists and sometimes doesn't.
Certainly a hot one today and getting warmer, but as Todd Woodchard was telling me in commentary last night, this humidity here is so useful here and in Brisbane, and when it does get hot, because that is the sort of environment that you have when you get down to Melbourne for the AO, so it's all in a good cause.
This is Eliza, who's going to help us today. Ladies, welcome. After the coin toss, can we please take 2 photos, one with Eliza and then one just the 2 of you. Please remember, if you want your towels to be brought to you, that can only happen in these 2 corners. We have the runners over there. And remember, if you want to have a video review, the hindrance, you have to stop the rally immediately. Everything else can be done after the points. Any questions? Questions? No? Bada, your choice. We have heads or tails?
AO.
AO it is. Okay, go for it.
I don't know what it is, but AO.
Tails. It is AO, tails. Receive? Perfect. Okay, and the photo with the 2 of them? Yep.
And the hotshot kids are all on court before the start of each tie, and one of them gets picked out at random.
Yeah, very
to do
exciting.
the contest. How exciting is that? We're all set now under the lights on the Ken Rosewall Arena. The third of the quarterfinals. It'll be the Aussies who will go up tomorrow night. It's great to see her back, isn't it? It's a very difficult 2025. For all her success, it was a year that began with a persistent back injury and didn't get off the mark until May, and ended with a serious knee problem, hence the strapping.
It really saddens me to see the injury and the injuries that Barbora Krejcikova has had, because as we were able to see against Maya Joint, when she's playing well, when she's striking the ball well, boy, is it a joy to watch her. 2-time major champion in singles, multiple major champion in doubles. Both of these women are, and just some of the cleanest technique out there. And as you can see, Elise Mertens also has a very nice and clean technique on those volleys. Sam, you must really like these kind of volleys, don't you?
Yes, I'm very fond of them. I have to say, I don't know what they do in the country of Belgium in that Flemish federation, but they do produce some very technically good tennis players across the men's and the women's game. Both women are 30 years of age, and I have to say it was a resurgent Elise Mertens in 2025, a very different year to Barbora, back in the world's top 20 in singles, a lot of success in doubles as well, winning at Wimbledon with Veronika Kudermetova. She seems to be able to form great partnerships with whoever she teams up with, and they finish the year very strongly at the WTA finals. Astonishingly, they have never met in singles.
This is the most insane thing I have ever seen. So I'm glad that you are also as surprised. Both of these women are 30 years old. They've been on tour for 12 plus years. Presumably, they have played multiple junior tournaments. Again, not against each other,
2
clearly,
minutes.
but at the same time.
Yes, they were playing juniors at the same time, and they've never met.
Never played.
How is that possible? But they've seen each other an awful lot on the doubles court.
Absolutely, yes. Both, as you mentioned, Sam, fantastic doubles players. And in the doubles head-to-head, Krejcikova has the upper hand.
Oh, that did blow me away. That, not often that you have been doing this for a few years now. It's not often that I get a monster surprise like that. It's about time, isn't it, that these two met? And I don't know how you feel about this one. I suspect we could be in for a goodie here.
I think so too. It will definitely be good tennis. Whether it will be as exciting as some of these matches have been, I don't know. But both of these women are very crafty players, have a very high tennis IQ, so we are in for a treat.
1 minute.
Third of the quarterfinals, winner of this tie between Team Belgium and Team Czechia, playing for the right to meet Team Switzerland, who came through in their quarterfinal in Perth yesterday. That will be on Saturday, and it's Australia, Poland tomorrow night. I have a feeling this place will be absolutely jumping. Elise Mertens been impressive, hasn't she? In a very different way to Krejcikova, whose pre-season must have been compromised. But Mertens looks like she's come out and ready to make a push for some titles in the top 10 this year.
I agree. She's never been in the top 10, but very close. 12 was her highest ranking. Reached the semi-final at the Australian Open in 2018, so she's a fantastic player. And she has gotten a bit more pace on her ground strokes, particularly on the forehand side.
Is that the racket change from last year?
Possibly. I think it might be. I wasn't sure whether it's the racket or whether she intentionally just wants to also go for it a bit more, but she's definitely upped her pace on groundies and especially on that forehand wing.
It's certainly a racket that everyone who uses it says that you feel like you can really swing at it, but still have unbelievable control. It was the racket that Madison Keys won her first Grand Slam title here.
Very popular racket after that.
I have to say, flown off the shelves since then. And maybe she's a very flat hitter. Maybe it's giving her a little more control. We are speculating. But Krejcikova won the toss, and she's going to put the Belgian into serve.
First set, Elise Mertens, representing Team Belgium, to serve. Play.
These two players have so much in common. They both come from very small towns, not really near big tennis hubs. Both have committed to singles and doubles. They both won doubles slams and been #1 in the world. They both won about the same amount of prize money as well, almost $18 million. And they're born within a month of each other. Where they really differ is that Mertens has been able to, throughout her career, stay pretty healthy. Has actually not missed a slam since, I think, 2017. Whereas Krejcikova's had a very different ride. Casey, you know these two well. What are we going to get tonight?
Evening, ladies. Yes, well, I think we're in for a good match, and obviously there's a few factors. Obviously Barbora's coming out with, you know, the pressure on her shoulders to get through this match, to keep Czechia here in this tie. big advantage for Elise, obviously with Bergs playing great and winning that previous match. And you talk about injuries and perhaps what Barbora, and I think that comes into a little bit of play in this match as well. How has Krejcikova's body pulled up after a number of matches and time on court? It obviously takes a while to build up that match fitness, having played a number of matches and been out with a few injuries at the beginning of last year. And for Elise, well, she looks really on the ball, doesn't she? Throughout all of her matches, she's looked fantastic.
And Casey, you will love to see this, or actually no, as an Australian you won't love to see this, because these were Krejcikova's first serve numbers and placements. These are the best serve numbers throughout the entire United Cup tournament. 89% of first serve points won. And take a look at that wide serve. Every single time Barbora Krejcikova served the wide serve on the deuce side, she has gotten the point. And you, Casey, and you, Sam, have talked about her second serve issues before, but when she lands her first serve, she is very hard to break and very hard to get a foot on the ground. So this will be, I think, a major factor today in how Barbora Krejcikova comes out and serves throughout this match today.
The knee injury was a result of a fall, actually, at the Beijing Open in China in her third round match last year. Had to retire and didn't compete for about 6 weeks. Tried to play at the end of the year, a small tournament, but had to retire in that match as well. And so at the end of her win against Malene Helgå of Norway, who was ranked in the 500s but plays far better, she was really, it was 6-4, 6-3. Actually, the thing she said was, I'd relieved that physically I got through it. That was the key. And then the other night beat Australia's Maya Joint fairly comfortably. It was a good performance, but Joint has been unwell. At the start of the United Cup, so probably wasn't at full power. So this is a proper test tonight.
And this right there, what Mertens just did, will be so important from her perspective, changing directions frequently. Krejcikova, with all the injuries you've mentioned, Sam, just cannot be as nimble on her feet in this moment of her career as we are used from her. So the more often Mertens is able to change the direction early on in the baseline rally, I think she will have a lot of chances to dominate the points. And there it is, that 1-2 punch, the serve out wide. And interestingly, I wonder what Casey has to say about it, maybe after this point. She doesn't favor the serve. She only serves at 40% compared to 60 on the tee, but she never misses. Maybe she just keeps it for the important points.
Game, Team Czechia. 1 game on.
Yeah, I actually have my black book of notes that I've had for a number of years, and I've got in my notes that on the first serve and on the first court that she favours the tee serve. But I think with the white, which I've had for a number of years, but I think you're right with that white serve. You know what I loved after with the +1, that she went back in behind Mertens as well. I think that's such a good play to keep Mertens off balance very early in this match.
That book is worth a lot of bucks, I think.
Certainly try not to forget it and leave it around too much. But it's funny, yeah, predominantly serves tea juice and quite accurate. And that's what she has favoured. But I'm loving the variety a lot more on the serve of Krejcikova.
Mertens had a very good season last year, and I had a look to see really where the points came from. It was mainly the first half of the year in singles. Made a final in Hobart before the Australian Open. Then she won the 250 in Singapore. The 250 is sort of the lowest rung of the tour. You have 250s, 500s, which is the point level for this tournament, and then 1000s. And then she also won her first grass court tournament in Sertogenbosch right before Wimbledon. Made the 4th round there, lost to Sabalenka in a very competitive 6-4, 7-6. But the thing that sort of looks as if it hurts her, so that's got her back in the top 20, but her record against the top 10 is not strong. 1-9 last year.
$40-15.
Nice little chip return there from Krejcikova on her forehand side. That's something that you learn from playing doubles a lot, and she likes that one. Played that a few times against Maya Joint as well on first serve. Neutralizes the serve right away.
Couple of good wins for Mertens, one against Julin very comfortably, and then a real battle against the 18-year-old Canadian Victoria Mboko. Actually, Belgium lost to China in their opening match, and they had to win 3-love against Canada to get through, so lots of pressure on all the Belgians.
That is well done. That was not an easy shot to guide down the line. And you can see right away when Mertens is able to switch directions quickly, that's where Barbora Krejcikova gets into trouble. Take a look here. Switches the direction after that opening shot. And Krejcikova is just a few steps too late on that one.
Good hold. And we're on serve, early stages of this opening set. Well, the tennis has been really fierce here in Sydney, but there's a social element to it as well. And there's all big smiles when everyone comes down under. There certainly has been time for the players to get out and about. Of course, there's absolutely nothing for them to do here in Sydney.
Nothing, right?
We're out in Sydney's Inner West, the Ken Rosewell Arena, named after one of the most famous Aussies in tennis history.
Casey, can you see what is going on in that medical timeout? Blister, maybe?
Yeah.
Now, if you're just about to have your supper, look away now, because tennis players' feet do not go well with your tagliatelle. It's best not to. I think Casey's a little too far away there, but this is what happens, isn't it, when you come out of the European winter with your soft feet.
Soft skin, yeah, soft skin on the feet. Well, and especially today is one of the first really, really hot days in Sydney. It's very humid. It gets very stuffy on the roof here. And just that friction.
Ladies and gentlemen, Team Czechia is now receiving a medical timeout.
We can hear it, receiving a medical timeout. And that what she has in her hand right now, that's called Mastisol. And that is a glue so fierce, Sam, that you will rip off 3 layers of skin if you're not very careful with it. Casey, I think you have had some experience with that.
Yes, I used to regularly have to take my ankle after some foot surgery, but disappointment, I think, just for Krejcikova in terms of just having to deal with constantly, I guess, not playing, and you do, your feet, your hands become quite used to all conditions when you've played a lot, but clearly just dealing with some blister issues. And it was interesting in those last couple of games how much she was slicing the ball. It didn't look like she was moving onto the ball very well at all, whether that was hindering her movement, because she was just slicing the forehand and the backhand a lot, as opposed to stepping in, being aggressive, being explosive, as we saw against Maya Joint.
You could see her having a tape already, but it probably just wasn't quite enough, so it has to be renewed. She's laughing, that's good. Or crying.
She is a very even person, isn't she, in terms of her outlook and perspective. I remember when she won the French Open back in 2021, unseeded, on singles and doubles that week, first time since Mary Pierce to do so. It's a huge thing to achieve. And afterwards she said, asking her, what are her plans and everything, and she said, I thought it was really, she said, nothing changes. So she still went back and took her trophy to her first coach at her club back home in Ivančice, which is this tiny little village that hasn't produced tennis players. Got a couple of courts. She didn't sign any big deals. She was still wearing the same watch and all that. The one thing that I wish, though, that she, and same coach, I mean, really, her life did not change in any obvious way. The one thing, and I really respect that, and she continued to play doubles all the way through. The one thing that I wish she had changed was to put a team around her, because she's always just had solely her coach, and I really wish she'd put in a physio and maybe a trainer. That would have, I think she was very concerned that not to let it all go to her head, and I get that, but that's how she's very even. She's very chatty. I remember when she won the doubles at Wimbledon in 2018. And at the Champions Dinner, and had a long chat with her and Katerina Siniakova. She's someone you can quite happily go up to, and she doesn't freak out if you're in the media. She's just happy to chat, and she's a very down-to-earth young woman. She needs that even temper, because she's had a lot to contend with, hasn't she?
Yeah, and Jim Curry actually told a funny story about her. He was working with Martina Navratilova during that French Open that you just mentioned, and Martina said, I'm going to go watch that Czech girl practice, and he asked the name, and he had never heard of her. She ended up winning the tournament, and he said, I will never doubt Martina ever again.
I don't think it's even a good idea to doubt Martina for a mini-second. But she comes off a great production line. Sisu Bergs, he's having a great tournament, isn't he? Big win over Felix Auger-Aliassime. He's also been a little under the weather, played very well against Jakub Menchik earlier this evening. And that gives Mertens a little more freedom, because win this match and they are through to the semi-finals. Right, let's see how Krejcikova holds up here. Casey, you are on blister watch.
Yeah, I have to say, blisters are so uncomfortable, particularly when they're in awkward spots. So let's hope they've got that taping right and that medical timeout went well.
Love 15. On.
Casey mentioned it already, but a lot of slices from Barbora Krejcikova today. We haven't seen that as much in that match against Maya Joint. Let's see if that's a tactical choice or maybe some physical hindrance.
Out. 30 on.
Yeah, I wonder if it's, like you said, Petko, a tactical in terms of trying to slice it, make Mertens hit up so she can then look to be aggressive. But even in terms of her mindset, she doesn't look overly aggressive like she was when she started against Maya Joint the other day.
Good hold from 15-30.
And just to underline what Casey just pointed out today, 80% of Krejcikova's backhands are sliced, whereas against Maya Joint it was only 24%. So maybe, possibly a tactical adjustment towards the game of Elise Mertens. And the devil works hard, but bolt 6 works harder. Our stat guys.
Oh, yeah.
And that backhand of Mertens is so dangerous because she has that, as you can see here, she has that little flick of the wrist that she can get it nicely and low. There it is. But she also has a beautiful swing through to get it down the line. Really hard to read off that wing.
Game, Team Belgium.
And that was motoring through her service games.
Team Belgium.
No breaks so far in this opening set. Fascinating to see what she does this year. Again, has recommitted to singles and doubles. For her, they are equal of importance, and the same's been for Krejcikova for many years as well, barring the injuries.
Yeah,
interesting approach.
Yeah, and interesting to see where they go from here. They just turned 30, both of them, and I feel like Casey retired earlier. She retired at 28 already. I played until 35, and 30 was the first time I felt age coming into play. In very hot days, for example, when I played a lot. So I wonder if they will make adjustments over the course of the next 2-3 years or so.
Yeah, 30. Yeah. Second appearance for the Belgians at the United Cup. This in the round robin a couple of years ago. One match went away from the semi-finals at the weekend. Greet Minin on the back row as the other female singles player, just outside the world's top 100.
Been having a little bit more think about the backhand slice, and I do actually think it's a tactical play from Krejcikova. She's certainly trying to use it line to go into the forehand of Mertens. We know Mertens likes the pace coming into that side. I think she's trying to get Mertens to generate her own pace, plus get her to hit up.
Yeah, I think you're spot on, Casey. Mertens, even though she has added some pace on her ground strokes, is definitely known as a counter puncher in the locker room. You don't want to give her you don't want to give her flat ground strokes. That's where she plays the best, with pace. So I agree with Casey here. And I don't know how fat shots look like. We'll have to see about that.
Oh. Stunning hands. We could have a whole new set of sort of data metrics: fat shots, thin shots,
like
slightly overweight shots,
chunky shots.
Game, Team Czechia. 3 games on.
He's doing a nice job of winning the first point on every service game so far. Not easy to try and follow in the footsteps of Justine Henin and Kim Kleisters as a Belgian woman. They've always produced very good players out of their two federations, the French and the Flemish.
It's a much better return there off the second serve of Mertens. Just a little bit more aggressive in terms of the intensity that she went after this second serve return, and she was rewarded for that as well. Great to see her when she's inside the court. Beautiful two-handed backhand firing.
And the first tiny little opening here for Barbora Krejcikova. Mertens taking her time to think through what she wants to do here at 30-all. And that is a tough ask for Elise Mertens. If she stays in a cross-court rally with Krejcikova, who has one of the best forehand cross-courts in the world, I think that favors the Czech player slightly.
Another half now on the clock. First chance goes the way of the Czech. Very quickly snuffed out.
Yes.
Yeah, nice composure there, great first serve, but I feel like when Krejcikova, she's really thinking out here. You can see that she wants to mix up the variety. She wants to mix up the type of ball that she's delivering down to Mertens, whether that be the slice, whether that be with depth, some shape, which is exactly how you do need to play Mertens.
Advantage, Team Belgium.
And there it is again, that slice, trying to disrupt the rhythm. Just wasn't quite there with her footwork, Krejcikova, to pull it off. Just half a step too far away from that one.
Deuce.
And that's the type of ball that I feel like when it's just coming in with a bit less pace, you can see how much effort Mertens was set up there, loading, ready to hit, but still pushed it into the net. She does need a little bit of pace to work with.
Brilliantly done.
Advantage, Team Belgium.
Now the best rally of the match so far. Really nice distribution of shots from Mertens and patiently waits for the right one to pull the trigger.
Game, Team Belgium. Ball
Tough
change,
hold.
please. New balls.
This contest bubbling along very
Team
nicely
Belgium
now
leads by
in this
4
first
games.
set. Seems a very steady chap, doesn't he? Christopher Heyman. Nothing really ruffles him too much.
Yeah, I think what's been so nice to watch is that all the coaches and captains have different kind of leading styles. You have the fiery one that stands after every shot. You have the very calm one, like Christoph, who really keeps the team centered. There are many ways that lead to Rome.
I wonder what sort of captain you will be, Andrea. So excitable for a captain. This is the third of the quarterfinals at this year's United Cup, the curtain raiser of what will be another very long and potentially hugely exciting summer of tennis and season ahead. And we're under the lights on the Ken Rosewell Arena for Team Belgium against Team Czechia. Team Belgium with the slight advantage, having won the opening men's singles. Best of 3 matches to be played here tonight.
And these types of shots are so dangerous against Krejcikova, even if that had landed in the sort of neutral ball through the center of the court. While we look at a study of Krejcikova's serve, when she jumps to the front, it's a very nice one. Just sometimes she tends on second serves to jump backwards. That's where she seems to get into trouble.
Yes, it's as on the second set, the baseline has given her a mini electric shock, and she needs to jump away from it. There is a smoothness about her tennis, though. When the timing is on, it's irresistible. And seeing an awful lot of forehands. Back-to-back love holds for the Czech.
Yeah, that one right there was actually quite good depth, but when Krejcikova can control the baseline from the center of the court with her forehand, it's so hard to read. She has that angled forehand in her repertoire that opens the court cross-court, and you're in all sorts of trouble. You have to try and keep away from those centered neutral shots.
quarterfinal.
Mertens doing a really good job at the moment. I'm just getting this sense that she's having to, well, the previous service game, she had to really fight hard from 15-30 and now again here. So she's really staying strong though and staying so solid as we've seen throughout this United Cup.
It's funny, isn't it? These two have faced each other across net so many times in doubles, including the Australian Open final of 2021. It was Mertens who got the better of Krejcikova and Siniakova on that occasion. But it's singles, it's such a different game. They're getting a completely new view of each other.
Do we know who wins the head-to-head in doubles?
Krejcikova.
Oh, she does.
Yeah. And she would have seen a few of those over the years because Krejcikova does play on that right-hand side. Interestingly, our wonderful research team came up with the fact that they've played doubles together once in Japan, in Kofu, 10 years ago, in a $25,000 event, a mini event. They played one match, they lost in the first round, and that was that.
Game Team Belgium.
And we remain on serve in this opening set.
Belgium leads by 5-4.
Elise Mertens had a few coaches over the years. Some of them have been boyfriends as well. It's usually worked out very successfully. And remind me, when did Christopher come on board?
So I would say 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a couple of seasons, hasn't it? Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. United Cup time, Ken Rosewell Arena. And we are riding along with Elise Mertens and Barbora Krejcikova, two women who have both been #1 in the world in doubles, multiple slam champions in that discipline. And without a break so far, nothing to choose between them in this opening set. done. Just starting to build up a head of steam here now behind her serve.
Yeah, that was nicely done. Good eye.
15 all.
Chris says, come on. And these are just the things that you learn on a doubles court, right? Recognizing when the ball is to be taken out of the air, when to step forward. Both players have been doing that really well, Krejcikova and Mertens, throughout today's match.
30-15.
It's so funny to me, Casey, that she prefers the down the tee serve. We mentioned it at the top of the game. 60% go down the tee. She never misses that wide serve.
Never. And it actually drags you out of the court as well.
Tell you who also had a very similar serve was her former coach, the late Jana Novotná. Jana used to get you every time there.
On that wide serve.
Yep. And I don't know what you think, Andrea and Casey, but
40-15.
she has something that not that many players have, women players have, female players have. She has swing on her serve. I mean, she can get it to swing. And so it just moves off the court. Jana used to have this tee serve ad court. You thought you were there, and it just kept going away and away, and you just couldn't get it. It just kind of ran away from you. And she has a very similar technique.
There's not many times where I have sat in the crowd as a spectator and just literally enjoyed tennis, but I did sit in the stands at Wimbledon when she won Wimbledon, and I do remember her using that swinging serve so well in that Wimbledon final.
Yeah, there it is again. The forehand from the center of the court. Krejcikova just absolutely ruthless on that shot. You have to try and take it away from her. Going backwards too, that was something. We're still square. What is this? John Isner against Riley Opelka?
Yes, just the single break point in the 7th game of this set.
You used the word a few games ago, Sam, building, and that's the sense that I get. I feel like Krejcikova is just slowly building, controlling her service games really well. For Mertens, I just feel like she's been pretty steady throughout this first set, but I'm really interested to see what these next couple of games and how they unfold, particularly from the side of Krejcikova.
First time Mertens has lost the opening point on her service game in this set.
Love 13.
Wouldn't take a lot, would it, out here? There's some bucket confusion earlier on in the set that one had the wrong dot on it.
I always thought that There must be some bucket confusion at one point.
Clearly signposted, but Barbora spotted the problem.
Oh, wow.
She's hit 1 million of those in her career. Usually with Katerina Siniakova on the other side of the court for her. And real trouble here now for Team Belgium.
(15-14).
That's a poor service game.
Team Czechia.
And she pays the price, and we have the break in this opening set.
Last 6 games to 5.
Listen, I take the full brunt of the blame because I just called this match John Isner versus Riley Opelka, and boom, there's a break.
Yeah.
Sorry, Elise, I will apologize to her.
The Americans are in town. Goodness me, they had to fight their way out of those groups in Perth, didn't they? Coco Gauff was on the practice court a little earlier today alongside Taylor Fritz is here as the #1 man and defending champions. They were hanging on by a thread at one point
They really were.
over in the West, but I think there's a reason why they won this title on two of the 3 times it's been held. So great to see Coco here, loving her team event. What is it about cities that makes them look so spectacular when they're lit up at night, and no more so than this fabulous sporting arena in Sydney's inner west? It certainly has cooled a little, hasn't it, from the temperature today. In the CBD, it was around about 32 degrees, which means that out here it's always 4 or 5 degrees hotter. It has something to do with the Blue Mountains and the air getting trapped between here and the mountains, something like that.
Okay.
But it's always much hotter in this part of Sydney. Early in the set, things did not look too promising when she had to stop for an injury timeout and have some remedial work done. And what was that she had stuck to her foot? What was that sticky stuff?
Mastisol.
Oh, it sounds
very
frightening.
gluey.
I reckon she needed a little bit of extra in this heat today.
Oh, she's looked good.
Yeah.
Slick.
30 left.
Yeah, she's starting to look like she did against Maya Joint in that second set. There was an absolute master display of how a tennis court should be played on. And there we have it, the third shot. Forehand from Krejcikova doing all the damage.
40 left.
That outward serve has been lethal on this court, which is also pretty slick. It can move. And she eases her way to her first set point.
Let first serve. Let first serve. first set.
The Czechs are on the comeback trail. Barbora Krejcikova
Against the 5.
has taken the opening set by 7 games to 5.
Tak ty si to 4krát vlastně z vrchu doma i zabila. 3 SA a jsme žavě zabitá, takže to... Tak to je brut. Barčo, neskutečný. Tak jak ti hraješ agresivně, aktivně, tak ona nemá...
Well, that's the cheeriest I think I've seen Jiri Novak this entire United Cup, and I have to say, when she got going, last 4 service games, only dropped, 1 point in the last 4 service games. But there are some other numbers here to consider.
Yeah, you can see it here, and I think I understood a little bit of what Novak just said. You can see here 12 winners on Krejcikova's side to 15 unforced errors. That is a lot better quota compared to Elise Mertens, 2 winners and 10 unforced errors. So even though she's had fewer unforced errors, the winners are just not balancing herself out, and she needs to up her first serve percentage if she wants to find a way back into the match. Under 50% won't cut it against Krejcikova when she plays that well. But I think Novak just said, you see, when you play a little bit more aggressive, that's where it's at. And I think at the beginning, that slice, that was really a game plan that she wanted to implement. But the moment she found the perfect balance between slowing the game down and then accelerating is when she broke through. And I think she won, did she win 8 points in a row, basically? So that's the game plan for her forward.
Kikova putting the finishing touches on an excellent opening set for the former Wimbledon champion. It's been a tough start, hasn't it, to the Krejcikova-Jiri Novak partnership last year, because she only played 25 matches. We didn't see her until May, and very, very frustrating. I was looking back when she won Wimbledon back in the summer of 2024, and she beat Ostapenko, Rybakina and Paolini to take the title. But she was the 31st seed because she'd had persistent elbow injuries ever since she won that French Open, and back problems. It's been a theme.
There's nothing you can do.
Well, her first high-profile coach.
Random fact about Jiri Novak: he was the very first man to play Roger Federer at Wimbledon.
Oh, okay.
And he beat Roger in the first round in 5 sets.
Good for him. And Roger was 11 years old. No, I'm just joking. He was a very good player, Jiri.
I didn't realize you understood Czech.
I honestly, I don't. I understand Slovakian, for example, a lot better, but some words are very similar in the Slavic language.
Okay.
So I that one sentence just got through. But the question is for Casey, of course, because she's our mastermind in game plans. What does Mertens have to do to turn this around for Belgium?
Well, I just love your chats up there. I've been enjoying sitting courtside listening to you both just gibber away. She has to definitely be better behind her serve. There's no doubt about it. And the moment she gets she misses a first serve, you can just see the sense of, I guess, anticipation from Krejcikova that she's got this extra opportunity on the second serve of Mertens. But I do think that Mertens needs to step up and take some risks, because I just feel like the way that she's playing now, Krejcikova, it's perfect for her. She's able to manage that middle part of the court. She's finding width, and now she's serving well, and she's so good behind that first serve. But Mertens, she's got to start to step up and match manage and take control a little bit more of what's happening on her side of the court.
There was one break in that opening set. That was all that was required. That was a very soft service game from Mertens.
30 love.
Lisa doesn't come from a particularly sporty family. In fact, she only got into tennis because her older sister was having tennis lessons, and I think Mum Lane was a little exasperated, and they both had to go to tennis. So when she was about 4, she got dragged along to older sister's tennis lessons. But then the penny dropped about how great
30,
this
50.
sport could be when she saw Kim Clijsters live. And that's why it's so important that there's, lots of kids come to see tennis, not on the TV, but come actually to sit in the stadium, to get on the court, to do the coin toss, to really get a feel of it. And that's what happened to Mertens as a youngster. And what a career she's put together.
Yeah, that heavy forehand of Krejcikova is just causing some damage into the Mertens forehand. What you said, Sam and Casey, about her serve, how it swings through the court, the same goes for her forehand. It really jumps off and takes off into the width of the tennis court.
Game, Team Belgium.
That's a good response from Mertens.
First game, second set.
Very good response from Mertens. But if you have asked yourself, how complicated is it to play Krejcikova? I can tell you, very complicated. Because take a look at the backhand. The backhand is the stroke that gives her so much depth. Look at this. Almost half of the balls of the backhand are landing right in front of the baseline. More cross-court, but very much the depth. And then take a look at the yellow balls. Those are the forehands. The forehands go into the width of the court. They open up the angles, they make you run, and they create chances and opportunities. Take another look at the forehands. They are shorter into the court. They are closer to the sidelines. And that's how complicated it is to play Barbora Krejcikova. And when she is fit, when she's playing well, she's one of the best players in the world, and it's not a coincidence that she's a 2-time major champion in singles.
That's aggressive.
Love 15.
So what you're saying, Andrea, is that she gets the depth and the width.
The depth
well.
of the backhand,
Yep.
and the width of the forehand. So you don't really know where to go. We had the same conversation, Casey, remember, against Maya Joint, where you think, oh, I should stay away from the forehand. But then she hurts you with the backhand as well, and it's really difficult to find a solution. But now Mertens is playing a little bit more aggressive. Maybe that can... Yeah, maybe that can just put Barbora on the back foot and take the control out of her hands.
And this is where having that one love advantage in the tie maybe can also just allow her to play with a little more freedom, because the entire tie is not on the line.
15-30.
Krejcikova also not from a tennis family. Her mum, Hannah, used to always have the TV on in the kitchen and loved watching Serena Williams and Kim Clijsters, and got Barbora hitting against the wall at the local club. Mum had also watched, when she could, the great Martina Navratilova and all those wonderful Czech players of the 70s, the 80s and the 90s. And if you ask any of the Czech players, you ask why there are so many women, they all talk about Martina and the impact that had. But then Mum went and said to her first coach, I'd like her to have the same career as Serena Williams. So set the bar pretty high. But the Slam trophies have come. Well, doing exactly what was required, and she has earned her first break point of the contest. And Mertens comes out of her shell and gets that all-important break.
Team Belgium leads by 2 games to love.
And Casey, you must be very happy with how Mertens implemented your advice from the sidelines. Just a bit more aggressive, isn't she now?
Yeah, well, I felt like she didn't really have any other option but to come out and definitely step into the court and take a few more risks. And I love that forehand return that she just had the confidence to get up and hit at 30 all.
15 love.
Wow, doesn't it have such an amazing impact in regards to the flow of now what we're seeing from her, even in her body language, her attitude.
Barbora Krejcikova is requesting the replay of the call on the left service line.
There you go.
30-15.
She just hit that return like literally right in front of me, and she just does it so effortless. I love how she moves onto the ball, uses the pace, but she cuts off the angle as well on that wide serve. So beautifully struck.
Given the fact that Krejcikova played so little last year and hasn't had much of a pre-season, I think it is fascinating to see how much she can maintain the level, the intensity against such a high-quality opponent as Mertens.
Yeah, that's a good question, Sam, because against Maya Joint, we can't forget that Maya was very ill before that. She didn't practice for a while, and that's very hard to keep up an intensity point in, point out when you come off an illness like that. So today she will not have that benefit from Mertens. She will fight until the very end, and Barbora will be tested physically.
Oh, beautifully done.
Game, Team Belgium.
And things certainly looking up for the Belgians here in this second set.
Team Belgium leads by 3 games to love.
Well, not too far away from the Sydney CBD. It's just a very short little boat ride. You can head out to Manly. You have the ocean baths, beautiful beaches. It's all a hop, skip and a jump away from the wharf. And if you're out there this weekend, I would stay in the water. It's going to be pretty hot. Into the 40s. Here at the Olympic Park, built for the 2000 Games. And when you speak to many of the tennis players and athletes who have attended multiple Olympics, Sydney stands pretty much up there as one of the best.
Time.
I think some of the top ones were Barcelona 1992 was very popular, Sydney, London,
Nice.
and of course Brisbane 2032.
Wow.
So let's see if that can live up to what they produced here those years ago. And the stadiums live on.
15 love. Let first serve.
Do you hear that, Casey?
I did not. But I have to say I'm struggling to see and hear a little bit as I'm getting older. And there was actually just a volunteer in the crowd that was acknowledged, and he was 96 years old.
Wow.
Incredible.
Out. 15 all.
He would have been around in the days of Sir Norman Brooks and Daphne Ackhurst, after whom both the trophies are named at the AO, and former champions of the Australian Championships, as they were known back in the day.
Definitely just a bit of a lull in Krejcikova's energy right now. Has trouble getting those adjustment steps right. The jump out of the serve is not quite as dynamic as it was in the first set.
Wouldn't it be fascinating to have sensors on the players' shoes?
To see the energy they put in.
Yes,
yeah.
And to see when that changes. I think that would tell us an awful lot, and particularly off the serve. That's what I only just thought of that, actually. All the years I've been watching tennis, but I'm sure they could put something in the sole.
And that was much better. You can see right away if you just pay attention to the feet of Krejcikova. There were all these little tiny steps that make the adjustment go right here. You can see it, you can hear it even. And then the forehand is beautiful.
They've often put technology in their racket handles, haven't they, to see how many shots. A lot of players use that in practice, see how many forehands they're hitting, backhands, and the pace. Oh, yeah.
And that one was on absolute fire against Mboko Victoria in that tie against Canada. Mertens really was punishing those second serves with her backhand.
Advantage, Team Czechia. Deuce. Advantage, Team Belgium.
You know, the serve that I'd like to see Krejcikova use just a tad more is the body serve to Mertens. I feel like, yes, we've seen her hit that one beautifully wide, and that one she tried to kind of force down the tee, but I just feel like that body serve just jamming Mertens might do her a few favours here at this stage.
Chance for the double break. How quickly things can change. Oh dear.
Game, Team Belgium. Ball
A
change,
little slip
please.
there from
New ball.
Krejcikova.
Team
Yeah, and
Belgium
Casey,
leads
you are
by 4
spot
games
on.
to none.
I have many more monitors up here than you do, and I just have it here that she, in fact, hasn't served a single one into the body today, Barbora Krejcikova. She is going for the corners every single time.
Why wouldn't she serve into Mertens' body? What would be the thought process?
Yeah, I think it's just her way of playing. She likes to open the court and go for the... She likes to open the court and then go for the open space that she creates with that serve. But somebody like Mertens, who returns really well, who stands quite close to the line, who also plays doubles, who knows how to chip it and get it in with good hands, you have to use the body serve to make her guess.
Left, first serve.
A reminder, these two have never played against each other. We're still processing that they were born within a month of each other. They've never played in juniors, and they've never played in singles on the tour. So that's the first time.
Third Taylor.
And one thing we know about Elise, that physically she's a machine. I mean, she has not missed a slam in singles since Roland Garros 2017, so 35 in a row.
Wow.
That's playing singles and doubles.
Yeah, she's very professional. If you ever see her in the gym or how she practices, just goes about her routine, never falters.
Yeah. Very rarely see her with any strapping on or missing tournaments. She just cracks on.
Game, Team Belgium.
Team Belgium running away with
Team Belgium leads.
this second set.
5 games to love.
Semi-finals places are at stake. This the third of the quarterfinals. And the United States and Switzerland, we know, will be here at the weekend. They've qualified through the group stage in Perth. They're all rocking up now. Got off out on the practice court a little earlier. And tonight playing for the right to take on the Swiss, the team of Belinda Bencic and Stanislav Wawrinka. And of course, the Aussies will be in town out here tomorrow night. And I have a feeling they will be too. The green and gold will be flying high. And quickly things can change. Less than half an hour since wrapping up a really entertaining opening set, which just had the single break. Krejcikova serving to stay in the second.
And I really think that the Czech team here needs to bring the energy, whether that's now or at the beginning of the third set. But now the second set is running away so quickly from Barbora that this is where the team comes into play to sort of try and raise their play up when they are struggling on their own. That's why you have a team, and I'm sure they will do so if it does go to a third set.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit flat courtside, I have to say, and perhaps that is the scoreline, and you would suspect that early in the third. There's been a lot of interaction from Barbora and her coach, but those behind not so much, but maybe that's to come.
She should bottle that. There's also, and this is from the Czechs themselves, and they're very quick to admit this, that the Czechs can get a little gloomy and down. It's just part of the sort of the Czech mentality, and they have to all remind themselves to get themselves up. And they're not the most, they've said this themselves, they're not super exuberant, are they? And these
40,
double
30.
faults just started to creep in now.
And Casey, has she started jumping backwards yet on the second serve, Krejcikova? That was an issue in the first match and a couple of serves in that second match as well.
Yeah, definitely falling backwards. Definitely not into the court on the second serve.
Game, Team Czechia.
And look, she holds that game there, but I just definitely think that, I think when she's serving great in that first set, it was awesome. She was finding placement on her first and second serve, but as I mentioned a little bit earlier, it would just be nice when to see her serve a little bit more body, just find the rhythm on her serve a little bit more, especially leading into the potentially a third set.
Well, and Elise, on the other hand, has used that body serve beautifully. If you compare it to the match against Maya Joint, where Krejcikova was doing so much damage on that return, Mertens has managed to keep her at bay, particularly here in the second set with those body serves.
Oh. 30-15. Led, second serve. Out. 40-13.
Well, that has been a typically robust response from Elise Mertens. We've seen it over all the years that she's been out there on tour. She does not go away easily. Barbora Krejcikova right at the start of this second set and has not looked back.
Deuce.
A few finishing touches remain though. And you can see when Krejcikova really opens her shoulders and finds her mark, Mertens hasn't really had an answer to it.
Advantage, Team Belgium.
So another chance to take this contest to a third set. Elise Mertens putting Team Belgium within one set of the semi-finals. She takes the second by 6 games to 1.
Well, what a bounce back. Take a bow, Elise Mertens, and as a reward she gets all the ice creams in the world. That would be nice if you win a second set and then you just get all the ice creams in the world. And here are the numbers to accompany it. She dropped her unforced errors, upped her winners, upped her first serve percentage, won more points when the first serve found her target, got 3 aces. This is a very, very clean set of tennis for Elise Mertens, and that was not an easy ask with Barbora Krejcikova's quality of play in that first set and how she was just dominating the rallies. Elise Mertens has bounced back and bounced back for good.
Some of the best moments from that second set, but it was Mertens running the show. And she is a wily campaigner, been out there for many seasons now. And starting to warm to the task here. The Belgians 1 set away from the last 4. Elise Mertens on the comeback trail for Team Belgium. And Andrea, you've been sort of looking at this in more detail.
Well, I have, but I think Casey will be very happy with these graphics that we have. Elise Mertens played well in the first set. It was a very tight first set, but she did hit 68% of shots, plus those 13 in the very back behind the baseline. Only 19% of the shots were hitting on the rise and inside the baseline. Now take a look at set 2. This is a stunning difference towards set 1. 35% of shots taken inside the baseline. And when you're on the other side, the game feels like a completely different ball game. Everything comes harder at you, faster at you. You don't have as much time to make decisions. You start to make unforced errors. And it is all because Elise Mertens decided to take a bit more risk. And it worked really nicely. Casey, you must be proud of the little tips you were whispering from the whisper position, weren't you?
Certainly am, and your performance in that second set was so good. You can have an ice cream too, Andrea.
Thank you.
What about me?
Oh yes, you too, Sam. You can both get an
Do
ice
I get
cream.
like a wafer or something?
You get a wee spa, and Petko, you can get a cornetto.
Casey, I have to say that's a great effort from Mertens, because it's not easy for her to be so aggressive. It's never been her game style, has it?
Absolutely not, and absolute kudos to her, because it's actually an intentional mindset for her to come out of the chair after the first set with her coach. They clearly had a conversation about her being more aggressive, but it's one thing to, be intentional. It's another thing to come out and obviously execute that, but it's exactly what she did. So all credit to Mertens early in that second set. She did exactly what she needed to do, and just now with her coach talking through this third set, she's been visualizing, eyes closed. Krejcikova has gone off the court to change her clothes. I'm hoping she comes back and she gets some real energy from the Team Czechia bench, as we've talked about, because they are looking a bit gloom. They're playing for a semi-final spot, and you just got to feel that the energy's got to lift somehow. There's got to be a little bit more intensity, but we'll see how this third set pans out.
Perhaps they need the ice cream lady to do a little run past their box to cheer them all up. Very impressed with Christopher Heyman, who was ranked about 260 in the world. He's a lefty apparently on the men's tour, so good player. There is a sort of quiet authority, and he's been gently encouraging, hasn't he, of Elisa, and it never seems to talk too much. And sometimes the coaches on the side of the court can just be in your ear too much. I sometimes feel that in these team events, it is when they speak. There's nothing worse than having a team captain constantly yakking away at you. And he gives her the space, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. And I do think that you can see that he knows her very well. Obviously, he lets her to visualize her things before he speaks to her. And I say it all the time. I oftentimes think the coach is talking is more for their own stress relief than actually helping their players, because obviously they feel very stressed as well. So when you hear them and see them talking a lot, I feel like sometimes it's just to get it off their chest as well.
Are you going to be a captain one day?
Oh, no.
Is that something
I
that
do not
interests
have
you?
an ounce of team inside of me.
But you are the lady that organised the champagne and pyjama party one time for Billie Jean King Cup on the way back from Australia to Germany. I understood that you managed that particular task.
I may have or may not have done that, but I've gotten more weird as the time progressed. I tried to avoid people.
That was very
famous.
famous. That even I heard that. Casey, have you got any inclination to captain any teams?
Oh, potentially one day. Potentially one day.
I could see you in the chair.
Yeah, look, we've got very, very strong, great women leaders, and we have that have all come before us too. So it would be a tough gig to get, though.
Maybe a junior team.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, I get the opportunity to work with a lot of great, young women in some of the work I do now, and I really enjoy it. It's great.
So that's a maybe and a no.
a maybe and a definite no.
Yeah. It's either your thing or it's not. We are awaiting Barbora Krejcikova.
It's a long time off court, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay, only 5 more seconds, and then she will head back.
Well, she'll get a penalty. It's not the most heavily enforced rule in the book. Miriam Bly, certainly having a look at the clock. Here is Barbora.
So I have a suggestion. So you want to hear my suggestion? I would get rid of all medical timeouts and toilet breaks. I would just give each player 2 breaks, and they can pull them whenever they want. You know what I'm saying? So you can't. So if you need a medical timeout, you have to pull one of your 2 breaks, but you have only 2 per match, and then 3 for a best of 5 men's.
Okay.
You have to think about that.
Well, how about that? Actually, in the original rules of tennis, play is supposed to be continuous. So how about if you need to go for a bathroom break, you go off in the time of the changeover, and if you're late back, then you incur a penalty. That would get rid of 95% of all bathroom breaks, which are shirt changes. So if you really needed, I mean, Martina Navratilova and Chris Evert in all their years, I don't think ever went for bathroom breaks.
Yeah. Team Czechia to serve. Love 15.
We've got 2 great doubles players out here, both former world number ones and multiple Grand Slam champions. And I think we've seen it in the quality of the returning. It'll be fascinating to see the approach that Mertens takes here right at the start of this 3rd set.
Love 30.
Well, this feels like a very important game from the perspective of Barbora Krejcikova to just keep things close, because Mertens has a daunting pep in her step right now. Just jumping around, feeling very confident.
Also really ambitious second serve. It's another double in this game. They've started to creep in. Sort of from early on in that second set. Broken twice in the previous set. And in trouble here. Oh. Should not look that easy, should it?
No, it's just so beautiful how she takes the racket back. You can almost see it protruding out the other side. That's how far she rotates, and then can create beautiful pace.
Game.
But not that time. And it's Mertens in front here with the early break right at the start of this final set.
Yeah, this is, you can just see here all of Team Belgium is standing up, encouraging Elise Mertens for getting that early break. And then on the other side, Team Czechia is just sitting down, and this, of course, you're feeling down, you're down a point, you just got down a break, but this is where you have to try and force yourself to lift your player up.
Yes, it is interesting, isn't it, seeing the contrast. And the United Cup has brought in these team zones. It's one of the more unique features of it, and it really gives you an indication of how the whole team is feeling when they're actually sitting on the court and they can coach from the back row.
And to be fair, some players want that. Maybe Barbora has said before in the team meeting, hey, I like everyone to be sort of chill, otherwise I get too much anxiety. So that is a possibility, but it is just very obvious how different the teams are going about it.
She is doing a very nice job of winning the first point behind her serve every game bar one, and actually when she went love 15 down at 5-all, that was the only time she was broken. It just gives her gives you such a platform if you win that opening point. Ominous.
15-all.
Well, that is the best point she has played in a while.
15-30.
The first time we've seen that forehand that creates the width and the angle on the court in at least 20 minutes. This is where she needs to get the game towards on the forehand side. That's where she's better.
30-all.
But Mertens is making it difficult. Serving well, being aggressive right off the bat is really taking out the control from Krejcikova's hands into her own.
Yeah, it's huge firepower. And here's the response.
And just on that point there and the one at 15 all, she was just a little bit more, had a little bit more physicality, a lot more racket head speed. And I do feel like now Krejcikova needs to force herself to just, force her body to just give it a little bit more while she's hitting that forehand with a little bit more pace on it.
Yeah, brilliant.
Game, Team Czechia.
What a way to get the break back.
Yeah, very well done. And here they are, Team Czechia on their feet. And this is the type of point you sometimes need to get the adrenaline flowing through your veins, to get back that physicality we have seen from her in the first set that Casey just mentioned.
Isn't it interesting that they're responding to what she's doing on court rather than them lifting her to get her adrenaline going?
Love 15. Love 30.
Double faults in her last service game.
It's the same thing with the physicality. It's now for me all about what her body is throwing into everything she's got out here.
$15.30.
Yeah, that is nicely done. Again, controlling the center of the court with her forehand. That was lacking in the second set. And she is trying to get that back. Here we have it. She can play it inside out. She can play it inside in and then closes it at the net. And she needs to be careful on her ball toss. Sometimes she lets the ball go just a bit too early, and that's where she has to chase it on the second serve.
got it just before it bounced the second time. If you want to, we can video review it.
Team Belgium is requesting the video review whether the ball of Team Czechia on the left side touched the ball twice.
Yeah, it was just when it was sort of wide and short.
Whether the one you got over there bounced twice or not. We're going to video review this. Okay.
But you can do it.
That was funny.
It doesn't, nothing phases her, does it?
No,
it
she
really
was ready
doesn't.
to be outraged, and,
yes,
then
and
she
then
just
no,
went, oh, okay, fine.
Don't worry.
If that's the rule, I'm okay.
Isn't the rule if you want to check the hindrance that you have to do it during the rally?
So they changed that. It's only on...
Here it's coming. It's this one.
This one,
This one right here. Just making sure.
Oh, I think it was twice.
Yeah, so you can challenge after the point is over. You don't have to stop. It's not like when we had a call.
Here we go. This would be a good angle.
Oh, no, she got it. She got it right at the bottom of the frame.
On that other angle, it looked different.
And Miriam Bly can also see the replay as well. There is a video review official that's sitting somewhere up in the stadium, and she got it. And now it's being played on the big screen.
I love that the slower it goes, the less you can actually tell.
Yeah, it's actually, my eyes are starting to blur over, but she got it.
No, she got
to
it.
be honest, I'm not sure why it's taking so long.
I don't know why we're taking so long here.
agree.
We could see that on the first. I mean, we don't need every angle.
No,
she got
it's
it
clear as day.
clearly. Got it.
This is the best angle, actually.
Yeah.
I wish they would show this on the big screen, because that's where you can tell.
I might just give Miriam a bit of a shout out and say,
Miriam,
let's go.
Seriously, let's crack on here. This is getting silly.
Yeah.
They're not showing this, what we're seeing here, on the big screen. They're showing a sort of a speeded up, blurry version. Now this is getting really silly.
That's what I can see. I can see it going up. Right? That you got it. That you got it.
Miriam Bly saying that it's fine.
It's your call. for me, it's that she got it and it's it up.
Maybe it's a pressure on you, not on me.
Elise, that's what I see. If you look at this, that she got it and the slow motion is very difficult. We tried, it's too blurry, you cannot see anything. We had it on slow motion here. For me, she gets it up before it bounced the second time.
Ladies and gentlemen, after having reviewed the call, it is confirmed that the ball only bounced once and Team Czechia hit a legal shot. Therefore, the score is 40-30.
This took much longer than
Exhausting. It took longer than the point. Much longer.
Barbora just came over to me and said, we need to make a poll. We need to make a poll for the crowd.
Okay. She's so chilled, right?
So chill.
It's a big point as well, but chance to wrap up the game here from Love 30.
Game, Team Czechia.
So after a couple of breaks, we're back on serve, early stages of this final
Czechia
set.
leads by 2-1.
I just love the energy now, Team Czechia.
Já si myslím, že hraješ na dvou dopady jako.
Well, and I will say, if you have this video review in place, you have to get the broadcast view that we had, because we saw it clear as day, and they had a grainy kind of filmed with an iPhone 2 version where you can't tell anything.
It was certainly, it was blurry and it was fast.
Yes, and then it just got faster, blurrier, and worse for Miriam to
poor
gauge.
Miriam Bly was going cross-eyed at the screen there, and where we had a perfect view. Well, they've certainly cheered up, haven't they? Which is good to see. Early stages of the deciding set. Team Belgium only need to win this set to move into the semi-finals to take on Switzerland on Saturday night. Tomorrow night will be the Australians taking on the Poles.
Time.
Czechs looking to make the semi-finals for the second time, backing up their performance from last year. They did very well to scrape through the group. They were runners-up in the group. They were the best second-place team here in Sydney.
Finland. Third tee left.
And I would argue that these kind of serves is what she hasn't had for much of her career until she switched rackets for the start of her last season. Yeah,
Game,
an easy hold.
2 games all.
Yeah, and that just shows you what the difference a racket can make, because she's always had a really beautiful technique, Elise Mertens. Very simple, nice trophy position. And now that she has this frame, it also gives her a little bit of oomph on that serve.
Finish.
Out. 15 on. Thirty 15. Flat first serve.
Oh, yes. Well done. Australians love a good catch, don't they?
And they give you heaps if you don't make it as well.
Oh, that's just beautiful how she does that. Those simple
40,
patterns
50.
They are so much better again here. The serve out wide into the open space. Again, the serve out wide on the ad side, closing up at the net. That's what gives her game security.
Game, Team Czechia.
Kikova getting her
Team Czechia
mojo
leads
back.
last 3 games to 2.
And we remain on serve after a couple of breaks in this final set. Do you have a head for heights? Well, certainly worthwhile if you can get up there. All the best vantage points. Don't be freaked out. They've got propellers on those seaplanes. It's terrifying being up there.
Never been more nervous in my life than for this ball kid. If he dropped this, I cannot tell you, the crowd would have been terribly disappointed.
You say that as a mom. We're heading late into the evening here on the Ken Rosewell Arena, coming up to 10 o'clock local time, and two women that have never faced each other on the tour before, despite being out there at exactly the same time for so many years. And they are locked in battle here after a couple of breaks in this deciding set. We're back on serve.
So Sam, as you saw this ball boy catch a ball coming from great height, I was wondering, how did the English catch the ball? You didn't follow the cricket, huh? But I hear Casey laughing.
Yeah,
on the
of course
sidelines.
Of course I followed the cricket, and I'm just going to just ignore that.
Okay.
Incredibly impressed that you follow the cricket, Petko.
Sure. Sure I do.
Oh yeah.
15.
Last game before we change the ball, so not going to be easy for Mertens to get too many freebies out here. And I wonder if you could characterise this contest as one player who generates easy pace and the other in Mertens who really has to force it.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from Krejcikova right now. It just, again, it kind of feels similar to the first serve. She's just building again. She's got a lot more intensity through her body and just a little bit more intent with her movement to the ball. And it's just making 5 to 10% difference in what she's producing.
That's well played.
30 all.
It's the Czech eyeing up another break here. Oh, well done.
Yes.
Second ace in the game.
And that is her favorite, the one down the tee on the outside. I wonder whether Krejcikova should maybe take a few steps to the right, just close that space down visually to have Mertens think about it if she does get to another break point.
Advantage, Team Belgium.
Oh, well done, Elise Mertens, third ace in the game. And holding firm here.
3 games on.
Well, and Elise Mertens has been around 50% in first serve percentage throughout this match, and now she has gone up to a whopping 89% of first serves made in this third set. Talk about upping your game when it matters most.
Wow. Can you remember Elise Mertens hitting 3 aces in a game to get out of trouble?
3 minutes ago, but before that, no. You're right.
It's not something that is for me usual in all the matches that she's played. So Krejcikova, what can she do with the new balls?
Fifteen love. Thirty love. $30-15.
It's now into its third hour.
$40-15.
Czech holding firm,
Team Czechia.
and on we go in this final set.
Team Czechia leads by 4-3.
Paráda. Výborně odservovaný game. Skvěle. A i tam ten game, výborně. A tady ti dala taky ven z kurtu ESO vlastně tam na lineu taky. Možná teďka zase s těma novýma, víš, jako hlídej taky, že půjde teďka ven, je zprava a z toho levá možná tečka, ale nevím, jako jo, teď. A teď si to výborně, jako jo, to dávala do zatáčky s novýma balonama.
A fascinating contest unfolding here on the Ken Rosewell Arena. The Czechs desperately trying to stay in the tie and give themselves a chance to get back in the semi-finals as they did 12 months ago. It's been a little up and down.
Time.
On what has been a very warm day and certainly a very humid evening here at Sydney's Olympic Park.
Finland.
Clever.
15-all.
We have two women here who are completely at home at the net and both love to come forward, fighting to hit a couple of volleys. It's lovely to see two women who are as passionate about doubles as they are the singles game. Chance.
30-15.
Absolutely, yeah. She just overran it. She was so eager on getting that short one. Yeah, that hurts. Particularly with how well Mertens has been serving. You don't get that many chances.
How much 1 point matters. She just connected with that backhand. She had 15-30, now 15-40. Chance to get the break, serve for it instead. 30-all, it's the difference of 1 point. Oh,
Game team
great
Belgium.
serving once again from Elise Mertens.
4 against all.
Well, there were a few chances here in this game for Barbora Krejcikova. Let's see if she can mentally reset to hold serve here. Casey, is the tension rising courtside?
It is, and when you just said mentality, that was the only thing I was going to raise. Right now at 4-all for both of these women, it's so much of it becomes about the mentality and also self-belief. What they can draw from their 30 years of experience, well, not on tour, but they both have so much experience on tour. And it has felt like one of those matches that they haven't played each other before. I think in patches they've tried to work each other's games out, but now at 4-all third set, it really does become about mentality and self-belief.
Third Tila. Oh. 30-15.
Vai, Baru.
Precision tennis.
40-15.
In a way for Krejcikova, not really having a proper pre-season because of the knee injury and coming in here completely underdone with very few matches. It's really helped. This has been played in the evening. And also she has a game that doesn't seem to require very much energy. She just sweeps away, making it look incredibly easy.
Oh. 40-30.
Taking big risks here on those second serves, 159 k's an hour. Just showing some respect for Mertens's return of serve.
Quite.
Game, Team Czechia.
Krejcikova hangs on back end of this final set.
Team Czechia leads by 5 games to 4.
Výborně, a i kontrakraťas výborný. Super.
2¼ hours in here in the second match of 3 to decide who will go through to the semi-finals on Saturday to face Team Switzerland. And it's still very much in the balance. A couple of breaks right at the start of this final set. Since then, they've both been pretty solid behind their serves.
Well, and Elise Mertens does have a bit of a tougher ask here, trailing Krejcikova throughout this set. Always having to serve to stay in the contest. Just a tad more difficult psychologically, but so far she's been doing very well.
Out. 15 love.
Top.
Out. 15 on.
She's come a long way, hasn't she, in a few days, when looked so uncertain in her opening match against Marlene Helge of Norway.
Out. 30-15.
Continues to serve really well here, Elise Mertens, not making things easy for Krejcikova. And that +1 shot, very safe.
Oh.
40-30.
And you see why Elise Mertens had to serve this well in this third set. The moment she lets up even a little bit, Krejcikova is all over it.
Well played, Elise Mertens.
5 games on.
Oh, had such a great season last year. 2 titles, back in the top 20 for the first time in 5 years. And that was in singles and doubles, a Wimbledon champion once again. And finished the year really well in Saudi Arabia, winning the WTA finals and doubles. And has launched herself into this season. Well, for two women that have incredibly avoided each other for 12 years on the tour, they're making up for lost time, aren't they? They haven't just given us a quick 1-1. They've given us a really meaty contest.
Yeah, they can't get enough of each other. Watch them play 20 more times this season.
Ball.
Well, and in these very tight contests, sometimes details make the difference, and I wonder whether these double faults will be the downfall of Krejcikova. Here we have 10 double faults already in this match.
7 in this set.
Out. 15-30.
First time she's been in any sort of trouble in this set since her second service game.
Left for serve.
Ball.
Krejcikova broke in the opening game of this final set. Serious trouble now. And Team Belgium one game away from a place in the semi-finals. Mertens breaking 6-5 in the decider.
By 6 games to 5.
She never goes away, physically or mentally, does she? That's what we've seen from her in the sort of 12 years or so that she's been out there on the tour.
Yeah, that steadiness has become her reputation, so the opponents know that when they step on the court with her. And those double falls just coming back to bite her. That in such a tight match, these things make the difference. It's not over yet. She did break right back at the beginning of the set when she got broken. But a tough ask, for sure.
Zizou Bergs, how well he played in the opening singles against Jakob Mencic. Is he coming back to join the Belgian party? Team Belgium one game away now from the place in the last four. And a chance to take on the Swiss on Saturday, on semi-final Saturday.
Regina.
All bases for the match for Mertens. In one game earlier on in this set. And plenty of firepower for the Belgian in that particular department.
Just overcooking it a little bit here, Krejcikova, and all credit to Mertens, who just fights for every single ball, makes the court feel small for the other side. You can see here how she chops that one back, and then Krejcikova goes for a bit too much. Well fought.
Well, the first meeting between the two on the singles court has been quite some contest. But Mertens now at a match point and Team Belgium at tie point. What a chance to go through to the semi-finals. Magnificent Mertens sends Team Belgium through to the semi-finals. An epic encounter. And she wins from a set down, 5-7, 6-1, 7-5. Two and a half hours locked in battle. And the Czechs are beaten at the quarterfinal stage. The Belgians, who have had such wonderful team spirits, will move on. And that was a hefty physical battle right at the start of the season, but Mertens coming through. She is slotted to play the mixed doubles after. I'm not sure that'll be the case. I think she might send in a super sub. But the Belgian story goes on here at the United Cup. They will take on Switzerland on Saturday. And the night that was begun in brilliant fashion by Zizou Bergs has been completed by Elise Mertens. Delight. Let's hear from her. She is with Casey.
Elise, congratulations, a fantastic win. What does this victory mean to Team Belgium and to yourself, knowing it puts you into the United Cup semi-finals?
I mean, I'm very happy with the win. Very happy that I could close it out on my serve. First of all, I want to thank everybody for coming. I mean, it was a great atmosphere today and great energy.
Yeah. And in this match in particular, after that first set, I just wondered what you thought perhaps wasn't working and what adjustments you needed to make.
Of course, she's a very experienced player, a great player. So, you know, I had to adjust my game a little bit. I felt like I had to play a bit more aggressive because, you know, she's not giving every point. But I'm very happy how I turned it around. I mean, we had one love for Belgium, so I could play freely thanks to Zizou.
And in terms of the format of this competition, how much did the team zone and also your own inner self-belief really make a difference tonight?
I mean, it makes a huge difference. All the guys behind me, the team, really makes a difference. Of course, my coach too, trying to keep me calm in important moments. But I mean, we're here as a team.
And that is one thing I know you love to do, and you certainly elevate your game when you play for Belgium. I know that there's a lot of people in Belgium watching you perform. Have you got a message for back home or anything you'd like to say to all of your fans around the world?
I mean, of course, thanks everyone for coming. Also the Belgium, I saw a lot of Belgian flags today. And also everybody at home. I know it's a great time at home to watch tennis. It's early in the morning. But yeah, so happy that we're in the semi-finals.
Well, congratulations. You very much deserve it. Everyone, another round of applause for Elise Mertens.
That might be a performance that really sets up her Australian summer. Former semi-finalist at the AO. That Krejcikova, who came here with so many question marks over her knee and her physicality, and without really too much of a pre-season, put up a hell of a battle. But it's Mertens and Team Belgium who go through to the last four. Tomorrow night will be the turn of the Aussies and the Poles out here, and expect a packed stadium. But the Belgians, they can enjoy their day off tomorrow. And before we take our leave, a little run over the numbers. Good serving from both women, but heavy on the ace count for Mertens. Probably a little too many unforced errors for Krejcikova. Those numbers will go down as we go through the summer. Krejcikova's only going to get better, but tonight belonged to Elise Mertens and Team Belgium. They're through to the semi-finals.